Mashhad, the ever-expanding city of history, religion, culture and development. Progeny, Imam, the Abbasi Caliph, tried to legitimize his caliphate via seeking Imam Reza's approval and allegiance. As he failed to do so, he decided to eliminate the eighth infallible Imam of Shiites. 1,321 years ago, concurrent with 818 AD, on this very day, he poisoned Imam Reza using a bunch of grapes.
His Holy Grace was buried in a village called Sanabad, where his followers began to settle owing to their belief regarding its sanctity. That was how the city of Mashhad was born. The megacity is now a religious pole, welcoming 25 million pilgrims from across the globe during a number of annual religious events. The anniversary of Imam Reza's demise is undoubtedly one of the most magnificent ones. The city of Mashhad is the capital of Khorasan Razavi province, in the northeast of Iran. It is linked to Afghanistan in the east and Turkmenistan in the north. The place used to be called the Tus Plain hundreds of years ago. Mashhad is surrounded by Binalud and Hazar Masjid mountain ranges in Kashafrut Ribatui. Joint Iranian-French archaeological excavations in 1974 led to the discovery of 60 stone tools dating back to 800,000 years ago. These tools are claimed to have traced human settlements in the Southwest Asia. Historians believe the plain of Tus had been the origin of many Iranian ethnicities as well as one of the civilization foci in the world.
The city of Mashhad dates back to 1,300 years ago. However, the plain of Tus, where it is situated, is replete with history, the only records of which can be found in petroglyphs and petrograms scattered all over the region. One of the most outstanding typical features can be seen here, Katibe Shotorsai.
Mr. Toghrai, an archaeologist, provides a comprehensive history of the place. He believes petroglyphs can signify the history and age of any given place.
این نقوش رو اون افراد ترسیم می‌کردن بنا به نیازهای خودشون.
There are a total of 94 engravings on this petroglyph, most probably from the Neolithic era, some depicting animals such as lion, whose habitat can currently be found elsewhere. This is indicative of climatic as well as geographic changes in the region. The prevailing themes often regard rain, fertility, abundance, and protection. One can perhaps make out two distinct parts when glancing at the city from a distance. The old part, having grown with a circular pattern around the holy shrine, and the new part with a modern architecture formed over the past 50 years. The city is expanded in an area of 210 square kilometers, almost twice as vast as Paris. Aside from a series of historical events, the Holy Shrine of Imam Reza has attracted a diversity of ethnic groups, leading to mass migration from near and far, thus creating a multi-ethnic society. This can easily be seen in the current residence facies, implying the borderline between the Far East and the Middle East. Inquire about the most spectacular view in the town, and you will end up with the shrine and its magnificent gilded dome. This evokes a profound spiritual sensation in viewers. The nocturnal view almost lingers in memories forever, providing peace and even years afterwards as it conjures up. It is customary in Mashhad that passers-by pause, turn to the shrine and salute to their Imam. There is a vast market, so-called bazaar, in vicinity of the shrine where pilgrims can purchase their favorite souvenirs from.
A traditional bazaar, the oldest, the longest, the largest, and as you can see in the proximity of the Holy Shrine of Imam Reza, you can see thousands of shops stretched all alongside two lanes, parallel with each other, and selling almost everything. Here we've got a surprise for you, so let's see what that is.
Ali Jangi is an exceptionally gifted craftsman. His specialty is precious stone rings.
آهویی رو دارم روی این کار میکنم با در یک بستانی از گل هستش که به عنوان یک مینیاتور.
The intricacy of his works is absolutely bewildering, which has been best crystallized in his finest masterpiece, Zamena Ahu, a ring ranked one of the greatest in the world.
شهنشهی که نوازد ز مهر آهو را کجا ز درگه لطفش شود کسی مأیوس. کل این انگشتر تقریباً 2000 ساعت کار مفید روش انجام شده. مثلا این سر آهو از گردن تا نوک بینی 70 روز کار شده. نه که فکر کنیم معمولی، زیر ذره‌بین 60x.
Ring has long been associated with religion among Muslims. All palaces claim to have first attested to monotheism among stones, and thus wearing it equals worship. Turquoise, the epitome of Iranian architecture with its sky-like shade, has long been identified with fortune and victory among Iranians. This, along with its abundance owing to the proximity of one of the largest ores in the region, has turned Mashhad to one of the best-known ring crafts and trade centers across the Islamic world. The Holy Shrine has also contributed enormously to another thriving art, tilework.
The bedazzling array of colors: azure, turquoise, ebony, green, yellow, and brown. That's what inspired Goharshad Agha, the Muslim queen, to integrate the floor of her mosque with the arcade, with the dome, and the skies. The splendid craftsmanship of Iranian tilework has all been developed over years and centuries in secluded workshops, such as the ones as you can see here.
A magic formula yields the bedazzling shade of colors on the tiles.
ما دقیقاً لعابمون هم مثل بدنمون یه فرمول خودشو داره، خاص خودشو داره. یعنی دقیقاً ما اگه اجزای لعابمون یه مقداری بالا پایین بشه امکان داره یه رنگ دیگه‌ای اصلا به ما بده. بله. اینجا
میتونم بردارم؟
بله بفرمایید.
اوه چقدر نرمه.
Interestingly, this fade and drab color transforms to azure following intense heating in the furnace. Afterwards, tile pieces were put together like a puzzle to create the intended design.
قاب و اشکال مختلفی در میاریم. جناب آقای وارسته سرپرست کارگاه معلم ما، آقای اسماعیل زاده مورخ‌کار این قسمت.
The city of Mashhad has been largely known all across the Islamic world for being a religious pole. However, it is of great significance when it comes to culture, science and history. Here in فرهنگ سرای بهشت, one of the oldest constructions has been converted into a museum with hundreds of displays which not only make local residents reminisce about their old sweet bygone days, it also provides profound insight into the dimensions of this rich history.
Behzad Chupankare, a manager, invited me to a tour of Mashhad's Old Professions Museum. The museum site is a reconstruction of an old bazaar with a range of professions already extinct: blacksmith, bookbinding, carpet shop, dyeing workshop, and the like.
خود واژه بازار یک واژه بسیار قدیمی و حداقل 3000 ساله است که از ایران باستان اومده با شاخه و ریشه اصلی واچار، جایی که محل داد و ستد و رفت آمده و همین دلیل باعث شده که امروزه ما به اون بگیم بازار، جای داد و ستد و معمولا کسبه سعیشون بر این بوده که رزق و روزی حلال، انصاف، عدل و از همه مهمتر این که مشتری رو همیشه راضی نگه دارن و ضرری به مشتری نخوره رو توی نظرشون داشتن.
This museum opens a window to our past history and culture.
این سفالگری آره؟
بله، یکی از در واقع میشه گفت مشاغل خیلی قدیمی. میگن که اولین سفالها در فلات نزدیک به 10,000 سال قدمت داره. البته سازنده‌های ابتدایی خانوم بودن، اما بعدها که چرخ سفال درست میشه آقایون به دست میگیرن و ظروف مختلف ساخته میشه.
Behzad's comprehensive commentary during the tour in the museum gave me a fun ride to the depth of Mashhad history and culture, as if on a time machine.
میخوام بگم اگر از گونه گیاهی بخوایم توی مشهد و خراسان بگیم بیش از 20,000 گونه مختلف گیاهی ما داریم که هر کدوم از اونها استفاده‌های خاص خودشو داشته. به طور مثال کتیرا که از گیاه گون گرفته میشه یا زیره یا موارد مختلف دیگه.
Busts of science and cultural figures of Mashhad can be seen in the front yard, namely Khaja Nasiruddin Tusi, the great astrologist whom every Mashhadi is proud of. He established Maraghe Observatory 800 years ago, a volcano with a 40-meter opening in the southern hemisphere of the moon is named after him, owing to his considerable contributions to the field of astrology.
مدار 44 درجه رو به نام ایشون کرده با اون 14 دهن آتش نشان.
Tonight I've come to a traditional restaurant whose manager, Mrs. Mohammadzadeh, is well known as a great and experienced chef. The lucky coincidence was that her daughter's suitor and his family came to propose at the same time. She's boasting with her specialty jush pare, with intense prejudice.
درست نمی‌کنم. چون آش جوش برامون معمولا وقتی تو خونه می‌خوام درست کنیم، یا آشیه که دست جمعیه. مثلا 20 نفر، 30 نفر، یا اینایی که تازه ازدواج کردن می‌خوام با هم آشنا بشن، خانواده‌ها با هم دیگه آشنا بشن، میان اونجا و یا آشیه که تقریبا گروهی پخت میشه. با هم میگن و میخندن، خانواده‌ها همدیگه رو به حساب میشناسن و این یکی مثلا هنرنمایی میکنه با این آش جوش بره. آش بسیار سختیه.
شما به من گفتین امشب خواستگار دخترتونم اومده.
بله.
میخواین بهش جوش بره بدی؟
بله.
آها، بعد این دیگه خیلی چیز میشه دیگه.
Miss Mohammadzadeh and her husband opened the restaurant together. They have already won several culinary awards. I was keen to know what had motivated her so enormously that she has managed to achieve so high.
گفتم خب حیفه چرا خواسته باشه یه پیتزا اینقدر جا بیفته تو کشور ما در صورتی که خب می‌دونید همش ضرر.
On the sight of the diners voraciously indulging with their delicious food being served, I felt a pang of hunger and decided to try jushpare.
Right, let's see what the ingredients are. Flour, wheat, ground meat, lentil, vegetables, walnut, spices, onion, full of calcium, phosphorus, omega-3, prevents from osteoporosis. You know, it's just quite a magic potion. I'm truly looking forward to it. Ah, it's just coming. اینه دستتون درد نکنه ممنونم مرسی این همونی که گفتیم عجب چیزی اوه سوخت موشک این عالیه brilliant.
More than 200 million Shia Muslims from all across the globe are keen to pay their tribute to the holy shrine of Imam Reza in the city of Mashhad annually. Pilgrims move towards the shrine at dusk to hold congregational prayers. Young couples on honeymoon can be detected amongst them. The spiritual atmosphere prevailing in the shrine induces relaxation and freshness. There is a golden opportunity for these stores in vicinity of the shrine to sell local produces, namely dried fruits, nuts and spices, to pilgrims returning from the shrine.
The city of Mashhad offers a variety of places for its pilgrims from all across the globe. Here, as you can see, typical lanes, of course, old, with these dilapidated buildings, with a variety of shops, and of course the crowd, as you can see here. Oh my God, amazing. You know, they sell a bewildering assortment of actually miscellaneous items, crockery, pottery, cutlery, you know, even shoes. Oh my God, they sell even shoes.
I was curious to take a look at this cheap guest house.
Right, let's see what we've got here is quite actually, it is a traditional actually, say, place, guest house. Of course it's been renovated, but let's see what they have here. سلام حال شما چطوره؟ شما خوبین؟ خسته نباشین مرسی. اتاق دارین؟
بله.
برای یه نفر آدم اگه یه نفر بخواد اتاق بگیره سویت 2 تخته است. بفرمایید که شبیه چقدر قیمتش؟
الان موقع پیک بازار نیست دیگه 20 تومن.
As he mentioned, during the off-season, prices can drop to almost half. A vast majority of pilgrims and travelers cannot afford luxury hotels. Therefore, they will have to sleep rough without these guest houses.
The juxtapositioning of a rock-bottom price traditional guest house for those who may not afford the luxury of an international 5-star hotel might seem stark and at times fascinating. Here I'm going to take a look at the latter and see for myself what features are on offer.
On my arrival, I had a small talk with Mr. Darvishi, the owner of the hotel. I gathered that he's not a hotel owner by profession. He was just inspired to get involved.
این علاقه و عشق من به خدمت به زوار علی ابن موسی رضا بوده که این کار انجام دادم و همه هدفم هم این بود که بتونم یک هتلی رو اداره بکنم به سبک و سیاق دینمون.
Mr. Eminian, the head of public relations, showed me around. He mentioned a few interesting points as we were chatting in the tropical restaurant.
Tell us more about it.
You know, this restaurant enjoys a variety of international foods that is suitable for those who come from other countries. That is use of architecture of 8 different nations. As I said before, Rome, Egypt, India, Iran, China, and other countries.
Given the top-notch facilities, prices seem reasonable even during the high season.
These seasons, the cost of the rooms rise to $1,000.
to $1,000.
Yeah.
But there's an average of 500.
500, exactly.
Oh, that's super nice. And of course, there will be a discount for me if
Yes.
I'm just going to see
Yes,
you.
why not?
Okay, thank you.
The Holy Shrine has also promoted endowment in Mashhad more than anywhere else. Here is not a single district in Mashhad without any form of endowment. Hospital, library, factory, art centers, and qanat, devoted for specific purposes. Apart from religious endowments, the revenues of which are devoted to the shrine maintenance and serving pilgrims, there are others which have been intended to serve the public. Fakilabad Garden, as one of the most beautiful recreational spots in the city of Mashhad, was endowed by Haj Hussein Malik about 40 years ago. This 140-acre garden is irrigated via a qanat, which was endowed by Haj Hussein as well. Mr. Valipur is in charge of repair and maintenance. Qanat construction is a family-run profession for him.
این چاه الان؟
بله.
ببین چقدر توی اون کیف دیجنمت پایینه نه؟
آره.
خب خودت الان برو ببینم چه جوری میری. Unbelievable. مواظب باش. اوه.
He actually free fell.
Oh. That's absolutely simple. تو خوبی؟ خیلی خطرناکه. چجوری رفتی تو؟ اون وقت این کار هر روزته.
هفته دوبار.
هفته دوبار.
این مظهر شماره 2 مونه دکتر.
مظهر یعنی جایی که آب بیرون میاد.
آره.
خب چند تا مظهر داشته کلا؟ 3 تا. این فاصلش با اون چاهه
حدوداً 900.
حدوداً 900. اینم میشه رفت توش.
آره شما چاه که نیومدی.
مثل اون که نیست.
نه.
خب شما پس برین منم پشت سرتون میام.
بیان داخل دکتر.
من میام پشت سرتون. I didn't dare going down the well, but I'm just going to follow him. I think this one's really worth it.
Arrival was exciting and a bit frightening. He told me that qanat is a 3,000-year-old Iranian innovation. In the hot and dry climate of Iran, it was a genius solution to the problem of water shortage. It extracts water from high above to low-lying lands with zero energy expenditure.
I just wonder actually how they could dig it, you know? It's literally impossible, even for beavers or robins. چطور اینجا میکردن؟ موش بودن اونا؟
نه این که خوبه دکتر.
از این بدتر هم
از این بدتر هستش بعضی جا 80 سان الان این 1.40 به بالایه.
مثلا چند کیلومتر میامدن تو؟
80 سان هر پشت 100 متر میگرفتن توش 100 متر راه
100 متر راه میگرفتن تا 80 سان میکندن.
آره.
بستگی به کسانی که تو قنات کار میکردن داشته.
اینجا میشه مسیر اصلی قنات.
اصلی قناته. اوه. اصلا آبش کاملا عمیقه.
حالا شما بیا داخل.
نه من نمیام مرسی.
اینجا خیلی راحته. آبش هم خیلی خوبه.
ببین خودت برو.
There is a total length of 274,000 kilometers of qanat in Iran, 7 full rounds around the earth.
خوش گذشت. بهترین جا بود.
In a megacity which serves as the destination of about 40% of summer trips from across the nation, public transport plays a key role. Fortunately, significant breakthroughs over the past decades in this sector, namely the rapid pace of highway development, has contributed substantially to the fluidity of traffic in the periphery of the town. Yet, there is still heavy congestion downtown and in vicinity of the shrine. BRT has been a partial solution to the problem. Also, thanks to municipal development programs, the new inner-city train system transports a large number of commuters conveniently and at a reasonable fare. The mayor of Mashhad was awarded the honorary diploma by the metropolis in 2012 for his quality performance and innovations in municipal management. At a glance, the city is perceived to be shedding a skin. Construction sites can be seen in almost every corner. These projects mainly include hotels, commercial and recreational complexes. This is indicative of a bright future for investment in this city. I went to see Kamran, an old friend of mine who is now working in the marketing department of a construction firm.
Hi Kamran.
Hello.
How are you?
How are you?
How is everything with you?
Thank you.
You just had a busy day.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry I
exactly.
just came today, but...
No, not problem. Don't say that.
All right.
Okay.
So you're going to show me around today?
Yes. It is better that you know the Package company is one of the top 10 brands in tourism industry in Iran. We started 2 years ago, and after that, not only we take a lot of experience about it, but also industrial construction project, you know.
Okay.
He delineated the project, which is under construction in an expanse of 100 acres, accommodating 1,100,000 square meters of construction, including hotels, water parks, shopping centers, gardens, and theme parks. The architectural design of the complex, symbolic and unique in style, was conducted by a prominent international firm. The plan is scheduled to be implemented in less than 3 years. The city of Mashhad is geopolitically favored owing to its location on the most accessible route connecting East Asia to Europe. This natural advantage is also augmented by modern transport infrastructures, such as international airports, extensive railway, as well as road coverage, which of course dates back to thousands of years ago. Mashhad is situated on the oldest trade routes of the world, the Silk Road. In the old past, merchants traded commodities, namely silk, from China to the Mediterranean, and then to Europe. Nishabur, now a small town in proximity of Mashhad, was one of these stopovers. There are still caravansarais in Mashhad, which have been transformed to traditional restaurants. Baba Qudrat is one of them. I'm now going to the sweet-natured chef to listen to his mouth-watering remarks.
ترکیبیت میشه گوسفند زیاد و گوشت گاو کم به اضافه سینه مرغ که به صورت نگین خورد
اینا مرغه. بعد به من بگین که این چیه؟ شیشلی. این گوشت الان کجاست؟
گوشت راسته استخوان داره گوسفنده.
پس اینم میشه شیشلی که غذای سنتی مشهد هم همین میشه دیگه.
غذای معروفی هم هست. یک غذای سنتی و خوشمزه‌مون تو خود ایران، نه اینجا، خود ایران ایزیه که از گوشت گوسفند و حبوبات تشکیل میشه.
اینو میذارین تو این ظرفای سنگینه؟
مثلا بیزی به خاطر همین گفته میشه چون انفرادی تک نفر است.
آره.
ظرف جداگانه برای یک نفر گفته میشه.
البته اون یه نفر مثلا من نیستم.
مثلا آره.
شما این. خب حالا این همه غذای خوشمزه شما دارین، خودتون چی میخورید؟
من خودم به شخصه چیزی میخورم.
چیزی میخورید؟
Shishlik is undoubtedly the well-known traditional dish here. Yet, his suggestion made me go for desi. There is a particular ritual when serving and having it, and I will do my best.
What I'm just going to do is to take this, and afterwards I'm just going to mash. Delicious. Oh my god. That's the narrator. You know, it's a kind of live performance in traditional restaurants. It used to be some kind of entertainment in the past.
امروز بخشی از هفت‌خوان رستم را برای شما عزیزان نقلش می‌کنیم.
Narrator's favorite is Shahnameh by Abdul Qasim Ferdowsi. In the past, when there was neither TV nor cinema, these entertainers' performance seemed even more impressive than today's cinematic special effects.
به گفتار تو هوشمند ز کم دانشی بر من آمد گزند.
Ferdowsi, the great master of epic and Iranian poetry, has been resting his peace in his mausoleum for over 1,000 years. Majority of visitors who come to visit Mashhad also pay their tribute to the tomb annually.
Ferdowsi's mausoleum was designed with a style adopted from Achaemenid's architecture. This great structure was built to commemorate the millennium following his birth.
Here, a selected number of stories and legends were depicted as engravings all across the walls of the tomb, as you can see here.
Ferdowsi created a masterpiece of 60,000 verses depicting the ever-existing battle of goodness and evil, where he constantly supports the former.
This baby, his name is Zal. When he was born, he had a very white hair. He was albino, and his father Sam was very angry, put him to Alborz mountains in the north of Iran. Seymour, like a phoenix, took him, gave water and food to him. Last Zal grew up. Zal was a very strong man.
In Shahnameh, Iran is the land of freedom, with warriors who defended her against invasion and intrusion, denying themselves and sacrificing their lives. Farsi owes a great deal to Ferdowsi, a master poet with global reputation, whose painstaking efforts over 30 years of hard work contributed enormously to the enrichment of the language.
And now, here's a small open market selling a miscellaneous of handicrafts made by local craftsmen. So let's take a look and see what we can find here. Right, so here we can see some copper work. You can see some Quranic verses, some epic verses, you know, actually beautiful displays, as you can see here. And here we can see two other actually kinds of crafts. One is called Kari, which is some kind of delicate miniature painting, you know, on a flat surface. And as you can see here is Kari, kind of a stud work. And now we can see the combination of both, you know, in just one piece. Here is some stonework, and let's see what we can find. Salam.
علیک سلام.
حال شما چطوره؟
قربان
شما خوبین؟
خدا رو شکر. سلامت باشید.
ممنونم.
خیلی خوش آمدین.
اینا خیلی چیز جالب سنگ اینا همه.
بله، هنر سنگ تراشی و قلمزنی روی سنگ جزء هنرهای سنتی مشهد.
آها، یه مقدار راجع به تاریخچه‌اش برامون میگین؟
تاریخچه سنگ برمیگرده به سفر نامه امام رضا علیه السلام که در مفاتیح جنان شیخ عباس قمی قید شده که امام رضا علیه السلام از نیشابور به طرف توس که حرکت می‌کردن به کوههای سنوات برمی‌خورن که یه عده سنگ‌تراش اونجا مشغول کار سنگ تراشی بودن که دستور اتراق میدن و ظروفاتی که برای امام رضا علیه السلام میارن تو ظروفات سنگی بوده که امام رضا علیه السلام همونجا تکیه میدن به کوه و دعا میکنن که من استنباطم از دعاشون اینه که خداوند خیر برکت عنایت کنه به کسانی که کار میکنن و کسانی که استفاده میکنن از ظروفات.
عجب. پس یه مقدارم مثلا جنبه مذهبی پیدا
بله بله بله.
جالبه.
Then I went to see a place where Shahnameh and its legendary heroes also play a key role.
زورخانه, the powerhouse. As you can see, the entry has been designed in a way that one needs to bend over to keep away from any egotism and of course pay your tribute to the spirit of the house.
The powerhouse is more of a holy place to promote spiritualism and morality rather than a mere gym. This is a place where members practice constraint, humbleness, forgiveness, altruism, and respect. Here, morality exceeds sports. The word pahlavan or stalwart is used instead of the word champion, commonly applied to sport, which is indicative of high ethical as well as religious merits.
Doing movements in synchrony with the song. They are mainly religious hymns, you know.
Music and poetry are indispensable to this sport. Gadgets are also symbolic of ancient warfare, such as club, shield, bow and arrow. Mashhad plays the role of the mentor, a mystic who guides, inspires and empowers athletes reciting epics and religious poetry. Spectators do not feel like watching a football match. To me, it sounds like more of a concert or traditional play. Religious posts accommodate missionaries and the associated foci. Mashhad is not an exception in this regard. Mashhad accommodates the largest number of seminaries second to the religious city of Qom across the nation. The school I'm going to see today dates back to 360 years ago.
The religious school of Abbas Quli Khan was founded by Abbas Quli, a genuine Muslim feudal who originally intended to not only fulfill his pious duty but also pay his contribution to the spiritual development of the community to which he belonged. There are 100 knowledge seekers known as talabe here, all with an academic degree. They are fed, lodged and taught here to acquire the skills they will be needing to promote humanity in the parishes they will serve following graduation. The old style and the traditional methodology in this school still seems to be flourishing following years of service.
Despite the old and traditional architecture, the dominant policies as well as the prevailing aura have been updated to match the current societal demands.
اینه که افرادی که وارد این مدرسه میشن فارغ التحصیل دانشگاه در مقطع فوق دیپلم و حالا لیسانس و فوق لیسانس و حتی مقطع دکترا. خب به طب وقتی اینجور افراد وارد مدرسه میشن انتظارات هم از اینجور افراد فرق میکنه با اون افرادی که از مقطع ابتدایی در زمان قدیم وارد حوزه میشدن. اون انتظاری که از اینها میره اینه که یک مقدار تخصصی تر و عرض میکنم کارشناسی تر وارد مسائل دینی بشن و دین رو خوب بفهمن، حلاجی بکنن و با نیازهای مردم امروز یک مقدار به قول معروف بروزتر کار بکنن و در اختیار مردم امروز دین رو بگذارن.
Learners attend seminaries round the clock, therefore it's kind of boarding school. Sessions are held in the morning downstairs, whereas they revise their lessons upstairs in the evening. Revision is done through discussion, which is typical of and indispensable to seminaries. My curiosity has led me to a room upstairs, meeting a few of them.
شما چی خوندین؟
من رشته عمران ساختمان خوندم.
عمران. شما؟
کامپیوتر.
مهندسی کامپیوتر. چی شد بعد از کامپیوتر و عمران خوندن سر از حوزه در آورد؟
چیزی که ما الان بیشتر داریم ازش ضربه می‌خوریم تو جامعه بحث‌های فرهنگی جامعه هستش. بیشتر از اینکه آقا مهندس و عمران یا مثلا پزشکی و اینا که در جای خودش محترم هستش و نیازم هستش بهش. ولی خب اولویتی که ما دیدیم که بیشتر از این میشه رو جوانی آدم سرمایه‌گذاری کنه رو بحث فرهنگیه.
Mashhad is a city that never sleeps, as a large number of pilgrims prefer the peace and solace of night to pay their visit to the shrine. Many workers are nocturnal by profession, for instance refuse collectors and cleaners, whom the city owes its cleanliness to their work and dedication. 1,700 tons of trash are collected every night from across the town. What do you think happens to this overwhelming amount of waste?
A current population of 5 million and a fluctuating population of 25 million pilgrims can create as much rubbish and waste to overwhelm the entire city. Definitely, landfills and dumping is not our solution. What we need to do is to collect this waste, as you can see here, process them and take them to recycle plants to be used in better ways. That's what we can see is being done here.
This is the first biogas plant across the Middle East. They generate electricity using waste here.
گاز حاصل از زباله میاد توی این قسمت که ایستگاه گاز هست که داخل ایستگاه گاز عملیات رطوبتگیری روی گاز انجام میشه و میره برای مصرف موتورها.
The gas emitted from waste is initially dehumidified and is then directed towards the engines. Methane is not only toxic but also destructive to ozone layer. Prior to the plant, emissions were all scattered around the area, whereas they are now burned for turbines to revolve. There have also been other attempts to harness renewable sources of energy in the city of Mashhad. A solar energy plant, along with the biogas project, attests to the fact that the environment is a priority for this megacity. The city of Mashhad is known as the spiritual capital of Iran. It is also the largest job market, second to the capital Tehran. This is chiefly due to vast farmland, in addition to more than 2,000 industrial units in the vicinity of the city. Therefore, it is undoubtedly regarded an industrial and agricultural pole as well. The hustle and bustle of the town, as well as the crowd frequenting the bazaar and markets, are daily scenes. Pilgrims can find almost whatever they want here in bazaars. The customs of buying souvenirs have guaranteed prosperity and thrive in business here. I can show you what you can take from Mashhad as a special souvenir.
سلام احوال شما چطور هستین؟ شما خوبین؟ خسته نباشین. شما خوبین؟ ممنونم. زعفرون می‌خواستم.
هستیم در خدمتتون. بفرمایید.
بفهمید که چجوری اینا انواعش فرق میکنه با هم؟
بهترین نوع زعفرون سرگله که من نمونهشو میدم خدمتتون.
Saffron, a 3,000-year-old herb, can be best planted and grown in Mashhad and neighboring cities, owing to the favorable climate and earth conditions. Mashhad saffron is ranked among the best in the world. 170 of the entire 230 tons of the global production is harvested in Mashhad. It is the most expensive spice in the world, whose antidepressant features have been established. To remain happy and smiling, I suggest saffron. Bear in mind though that you have to pay $4 to $7 per gram.
We are having saffron stew tonight. You know, I hope it is as delicious as expensive it is. It is red gold. Kosangi, as one of the oldest recreational centers, still evokes the most profound sensations of nostalgia for both visitors and citizens, with its beautiful pool, which used to be a swimming one, and of course the robust rocky mountain, which provides a spectacular panoramic view of the entire town. Almost every kid has got a shot at the back of these stone lions at the entry of Kosangi. I've got mine. As an adjunct to Kosangi Recreational Park, here is the place for children to be given some kind of entertainment. They can not only enjoy a variety of outdoor games, which they desperately need given the modern sedentary lifestyle, but also are given the education that what we call as civil education, the one that they need in the future life. Here they learn how to abide by traffic rules and regulations, how to cooperate and interact with the police, how to acquire social and religious values, and of course how to be a functional and good member of the future society they belong to.
Mashhad's children are now prepared to build the future of their town, which in turn is based on a rich past. They are closely linked with a history, culture and faith to which human civilization owes a great deal. They are the heirs to the peace, knowledge, benevolence and fraternity passed down from their ancestors. For these children, there are now 8 anonymous role models buried on top of the peak of Kosangi, who symbolize self-denial and forgiveness, 2 of the most praiseworthy human merits. These 8 anonymous martyrs in the vicinity of the 8th Imam are the eternal sources of pride and dignity for the children in this heavenly city.